guys, welcome back to my channel. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Kendall. Today we are here at Indian Springs State Park. This is one of the oldest state parks in the whole entire country, and it's got a history that dates back all the way back to the 18th century. There's a multitude of activities that you and your family can enjoy. There's fishing, swimming, and boating in the lake here on the property that's 105 acres big and is always fully stocked. There's also a small museum that goes over the history of the resort era, the activities of the CCC, as well as the history of the Creek Indians. You could also do camping and hiking here and enjoy the restorative properties of the mineral springs. So we are here at the Indian Springs Hotel and Museum. We are going to go inside and do a quick little tour where we're going to go over everything from the point where the Treaty of Indian Springs was signed in 1825 by Chief McIntosh to the point where it actually became a state park along with Vogel State Park in 1931.
The rock outside is where Chief Wahula stood. Chief Wahula was a major chief in the upper creeks. The upper creeks were the purebred creeks. The lower creeks were the mixed breed creeks. McIntosh was the lower creek. He was a minor chief in the lower creeks. But Wahula stood on that rock and he hollered at him, "You sign this treaty, you won't see the new moon." Well, he really wasn't worried about that because his first cousin was named George Troup. He was the governor of Georgia then, and he was the one that they named Troup County after. George told him, says, "You sign that treaty and I'll send soldiers to protect you." Because you got to realize that when he signed that treaty, Georgia got everything from Milledgeville to Chattanooga. Belonged to Georgia then. So he signed the treaty, and once he signed the treaty, then he left and went to Akron Bluff, which was his plantation back over in Carroll County. So he left and went to Akron Bluff. And a little while later, Wahula and about 200 of his closest friends followed him. They burned his plantation, slaughtered his animals, burned his crops, set his slaves free, he had about 20, and murdered and scalped him. So he paid the ultimate price for signing that treaty. The treaty was known as the Trail of Tears Treaty or the Removal Treaty. It was 4,700,000 acres of land that took Georgia from Milledgeville to Chattanooga and stripped over into Alabama.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yep. It finally ended up being Oklahoma, and their reservation is between Oklahoma City and Tulsa. And they got 9 casinos now, so they're doing well off. This is the earliest artifacts that we found here. Everything we've got in here came from this area right here. And if you're an archaeologist, you get excited when you look at this box. If you're not, it looks like a box of rocks. Now, if we go around the room, you'll see they look more and more like the arrowheads that we're used to seeing nowadays. They even have pipes they made out of stone and everything else. And let me show you over here. This is their high-tech tool. This is called an addle. And the saddle arrow, you would put it behind the spear and throw it. And as you threw it, you flip it. And it'd make the spear go a lot farther, and they could hunt larger animals with it. So that was their high-tech tool back in those days. And in the middle of the room, we've got 14 treaties. And of those 14 treaties, we broke every one of them. Not the Indians, but we broke them all. And this corner here, this gentleman here, you remember the rock that was outside? This is Wahula.
Okay.
He's the man that stood on the rock. He's dressed in his authentic clothes because we had the Indians from Oklahoma come and dress him. This is what he would have been wearing in 1823. He's got a tomahawk in his hand that symbolizes that he killed McIntosh, but he didn't. He didn't kill McIntosh. Another man killed him. But since he got the group together, he gets the blame. So now let me show you over here. This guy is named Menawa. Menawa is the guy that killed McIntosh. These Indians, these are the chiefs. And you'll see that they're wearing mostly European style clothing because they were trying to assimilate into our society. But we didn't want them to. Because up in North Georgia, in a place called Dahlonega, they had just found gold. And the greed factor kicked in. And that's what perpetrated the signing of this treaty downstairs, was to get rid of all the Indians so that we could get to go. Now, when they were here in this county, they were farmers. But when they went to Oklahoma, they had to become hunters. And you got to realize that you're asking these people to leave a place that their ancestors are buried here. Their children were born here. They were born here. And you're asking them to give it all up and go to a place they've never been before. So you can understand why they resisted and why it's called the Trail of Tears. All right? Now, when they got out there, they become hunters. This is what they hunted. This is a baby buffalo. The reason we got a baby buffalo in here is because the lady had been here before and she told us, she said, a large buffalo won't fit here. So that's why we got the baby.
Making some hot dogs cause we're starving. Bun down. Dog in. Mustard. And some ketchup. Tomato blood. This is 57 blood types. Tomato blood. What are you doing, Heinz? It's not Halloween. That's weird. That's really weird. I used all the rest of our ketchup last night making some bomb barbecue sauce. Best barbecue sauce I've ever made. And this right here is delicious. It's the only relish I will eat. It's called zucchini relish, and a lady at my parents' church home makes it. So yummy. I could eat it, just sit there and eat it. She actually gave me 2 things of it as a wedding gift, which is a good thing because I'm almost out of this one. But I do not like pickle relish at all. Just zucchini relish. Oh, yum. So good. So throughout the park, they have multiple they have like picnic shelters. You can see one over there. A few playgrounds. Keep a couple of like picnic areas spread throughout the park with these little grills like we cooked our hot dogs on. The nice scene of the waterfall. On the other side of that hill is the lake. And we'll show you all the camping areas later. But right now, we're gonna eat. Man, something about a hot dog cooked over a campfire / camping grill just slaps different. Yeah. It's a whole different kind of ball game than one microwaved or baked in the oven. And of course, one of the highlights of the park is the spring itself, which they've built up around so people can't really get in it. But you can see where it's kind of flowing out here. Now, it does have a very strong sulfur smell from all the minerals and stuff that's in the water, but if you leave your water sitting out for 2 to 3 days, that smell and the taste caused by it goes away, and it tastes like regular water. So this is a naturally fed spring that comes from a pool of water underground, and the pressure from the earth pushes it up through the granite rocks, and it absorbs different kinds of minerals from the rocks itself. So we're gonna go over what minerals and stuff is in the water and what they are used for. Okay, so I'm gonna read this little thing about the springs that I got. It says, rain and surface water are the original source of the spring's water. As the water seeps through the layers of underground granite rock, it picks up minerals found in the rocks. The mineralized water forms underground pools. Indian Springs is a flowing artesian spring. A pressure is formed by the downward movement of the water through the fractured rocks, and the water from the pool is forced up to the surface. So the different things that are in the water is sulfurated hydrogen, which is a colorless gas having the odor of rotten eggs, which is what we smell in here. When the gas comes in contact with the air, its hydrogen oxidizes, leaving the sulfur as a milky colored sediment in the water. Promotes activity of the bowels and the kidneys. Carbon dioxide has a pleasant coloring effect, increases the glow of saliva, and aids in digestion. Arsenic increases appetite, promotes digestion. It's helpful in the treatment of cutaneous diseases. Sodium sulfite, known as glauberstalt, stimulates the action of the liver and increases the flow of urine. There's a lot of people coming around now and making me feel really awkward. Sodium chloride increases the flow of pancreatic juice, intestinal fluids, and improves appetite and promotes digestion. Sodium carbonate corrects abnormal acid conditions of the fluids of the body and helps in healing rheumatism, gout, and diabetes. Magnesium carbonate, mild laxative, helps relieve acid conditions of the stomach and headache when caused by constipation. Calcium carbonate cures chronic diarrhea and helps disintegrate gall and kidney stones. And last, silica, which is suggested to help in the curing of cancers. And if you want to see the amounts of each kind, it's all right here.
The springs have been attracting people for centuries, and they still are a major attraction today. The park has a rich history dating back to the 18th century to the settlement of the Europeans established here at the springs. They use the springs to be their medicinal purposes. They built spring houses and hotels around here.
This is a very historical place. My name is Marvin James. I am a faithful believer in all things holistic. I'm a combat veteran, and my family have been participating in drinking this water that comes, this artisan mineral water, for almost 2 generations. I have witnessed and seen people that spoke about ailments that this water, they believe this water has restored their body. I also met a gentleman up here that said he had been drinking this water for 3 months, and he was able to come off of dialysis. This used to be called the healing spring, healing water, you know, and in our family, I know that there's been people that has had significant change in their bodies, their consciousness, their overall mood and health. I just love the park as a, you know, a military man. It you know, gives me a place to gain some peace. It's a good place to meditate. I also use the water to help fortify some of my personal products with my smoothies with sea moss. Our business, Sea Moss King and Healthy People LLC, often encourage our constituents and our friends to take part in this free water that's been passed down through the lineage of this area, cultural area of Indians, Creek Indians, Black Indians, and overall community Europeans and Black African Americans. So you can see people are faithfully getting their water, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell you, if you're ever in Georgia, do yourself a favor, pay your parking fee, and come in and get you some of this good water.
We wanted to play putt-putt. How much would it cost?
So it's going to be $5 per person, and children 3 and under are going to be free.
Okay, thank you. Just 2 adults, please.
Okay.
Serious concentration.
Maybe I'm just hitting it hard.
Come a little
That's
closer.
unfortunate.
I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. I don't know what it is you do. I've been looking at you all night, trying to figure you out. I just wanna make you smile. Hold your hand in my hand, looking at the sunset. Man, you're looking good.
All right, so throughout the park, they have multiple different options for you to spend the night at the park. There are 60 campsites that you can either pitch tents or place trailers, such as this one. As you can see, it is quite spacious. So you have plenty of room to park your cars, put your trailers. A lot of state parks allow a trailer and a tent on the same site, but you have to keep it in the rock area. This particular site has a vague view of the lake over there. It's not real visible, but there's a nice path that goes down to it. Like I said, there's 60 of these sites like this. They have full hookup, water, electricity. They also have 10 cottages, each of which has 2 bedrooms. We couldn't get to those because it's fenced off. Those cottages sleep 6 people each. And then also have a pioneer camping area. That's just like a open space where you could just pinch tents all willy-nilly, no bathrooms, all that kind of good stuff. The trailer and tent area though does have a bathhouse in the center and a playground. You can walk your dogs just have to be on a leash. Another thing that I think is really cool is they have a group camping area that it can sleep up to 130 people. It has staffing quarters, a mess hall, a crafting house, all that kind of stuff. So you can bring like your Girl Scout troops and stuff like that here. Maybe even church groups, and I'll have like a camping area all to yourself that has like a bathhouse, a mess hall, all that kind of fun stuff. So like I said, there are many different options where you can spend the night at the parks, but this is probably the ones that I would be using the most. Alright guys, so that concludes our tour of Indian Springs State Park and the history around it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Please let us know down in the comments below what your thoughts and stuff is about the mineral springs and their healing qualities. Also let us know if you've been here before or if you plan on visiting in the future. Can't wait to hear from you and your thoughts. Now we are going to just enjoy the evening fishing and then head home because we gotta work tomorrow. So comment down below, like, share, subscribe, you know, all that fun stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.